A single mom on the edge.
We'll be okay, Mina.
New Year's Eve arrived with a flurry of preparations. The gala was at the Voss family's historic downtown hotel. Black tie, 500 guests, live orchestra, champagne that cost more per bottle than my old monthly rent. A team of stylists descended on the house that afternoon. Mia was dressed as a tiny princess in silver tulle, thrilled to be included for the early part of the evening. I wore a midnight blue gown with a plunging neckline and back, crystals catching the light like stars. When Damian saw me, he froze halfway down the stairs, eyes blazing. "Jesus, Sophia," he breathed, pulling me close when I reached him. "You're going to ruin me tonight." The ballroom was breathtaking. Crystal chandeliers, tables draped in white and gold, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Space Needle. Cameras flashed as we entered, Damian's hand possessive at my waist. Whispers followed us. "That's her, the single mom he's serious about." I held my head high, smiling for photos, letting him guide me through introductions. Victoria toasted us early in the night. To Damian and Sophia, proof that miracles happen when you least expect them. Glasses clinked, and Damian's arm tightened around me. Mia lasted until 10, falling asleep in a quiet nursery suite upstairs with a nanny. After tucking her in, Damian found me at the balcony doors watching snow flurries dance under streetlights. "Dance with me," he said, pulling me onto the nearly empty terrace. The orchestra played a slow waltz inside, music drifting out. He spun me gently, hands sure and warm. "You've been perfect tonight," he murmured against my temple. "But I need you alone," heat flared. "How much longer do we have to stay?" He chuckled darkly. "Not long." At 11:30, he made our excuses something about getting Mia home before midnight. Charles drove us back across the bridge, city lights reflecting on the water. In the back seat, Damian's hand slid up my thigh under the slit of my dress, fingers teasing until I was biting my lip to stay quiet. The moment the front door closed behind us, he pressed me against it, mouth claiming mine in a bruising kiss. "Been hard for you all night," he growled, grinding against me so I could feel the truth of it. I gasped as he lifted me, legs wrapping around his waist. He carried me to the living room where the fireplace still glowed, laying me on the thick rug. My gown was peeled away slowly, reverently, until I lay naked except for heels and the emerald necklace. He stood, stripping off his tuxedo jacket and shirt, revealing the sculpted chest I'd memorized with my tongue. Kneeling between my thighs, he spread me open, eyes devouring. "So wet already," he murmured, sliding 2 fingers inside me without warning. I arched, moaning as he curled them perfectly, thumbs circling my clit. "Look at me," he commanded. I forced my eyes open, watching his face as he worked me higher. When I came, it was explosive, thighs shaking around his hand. He shed the rest of his clothes, cock heavy and ready. Instead of entering me, he pulled me to straddle him as he sat back against the couch. I sank down slowly, taking him inch by inch until he was buried deep. We both groaned. "Ride me," he ordered, hands gripping my hips. I did slow at first, grinding then faster, breasts bouncing as I chased pleasure. His hands roamed pinching nipples, slapping my ass lightly, urging me on. When I tired, He took over, thrusting up hard, hitting that perfect spot until I shattered again. He flipped us, driving into me with deep, powerful strokes, mouth at my ear whispering filthy praise. So tight, so perfect, made for me. Release hit him suddenly. He pulled out at the last second, spilling hot across my stomach with a guttural moan. We lay panting, fireworks from distant celebrations lighting the windows in bursts of color. Midnight had come and gone. Happy New Year, I whispered. He kissed me softly, tenderly. Best one yet. Later, cleaned up and wrapped in robes, we sat by the fire with champagne. The mood shifted serious. I need to tell you something, he said quietly. The arrangement. It was never just business. Not after that first night, my heart stuttered. What do you mean? I'd been watching the building files for weeks. Yours caught my eye immediately, the late payments, the double shifts, the notes from daycare about how you always picked Mia up smiling no matter how exhausted. I told myself I was looking for a believable candidate. But the truth is, I wanted to meet you, to help you, to have you in my life. I stared, tears welling. You engineered this? He nodded, unashamed. I'd planned to offer financial help anonymously, but when you opened that door fierce, beautiful, unbroken, I knew anonymity wouldn't be enough. I wanted you close. The fake relationship was my excuse. Emotion choked me. And now I don't want any part of it to be fake. He took my hand. I'm in love with you, Sophia. With Mia. With the life we're building. Stay not because of a deal, but because you want this too. Tears spilled over. I've been falling since that first kiss. Maybe before. Yes, Damian. 1,000 times yes. He pulled me into his lap, kissing away tears, then claiming my mouth with desperate joy. Clothes fell away again, this time slow, worshipful. He carried me to the rug once more, entering me gently, moving with deep, deliberate strokes as fireworks lit the sky outside. We made love through the New Year's dawn, tender, passionate, sealing promises without words. When we finally slept, tangled together, I knew I'd never be breathless from struggle again. Only from him. January slipped by in a haze of domestic bliss I never imagined possible. Mia started at an elite private kindergarten paid for by Damian, of course, and came home daily with stories of art classes and new friends. I quit the bistro, enrolling instead in online business courses Damian encouraged, dreaming quietly of opening a small bakery one day. Evenings were filled with family dinners, board games, and bedtime stories where Damian's deep voice brought dragons and princesses to life. Our nights remained electric. Some were playful. He'd chase me through the house after Mia's bedtime, catching me in the laundry room or against the wine cellar door, hiking my skirt up for quick, breathless encounters. Others were languid. He'd draw a bath scented with lavender, wash my hair slowly, then carry me to bed still dripping to make love until we were boneless and sated. He spoiled us shamelessly but never ostentatiously. A weekend getaway to a San Juan Island cabin, just the three of us. A custom playhouse delivered for Mia's 6th birthday in late January, complete with working electricity and a tiny kitchen. For me, quiet gestures, a first edition cookbook I'd mentioned in passing, a diamond bracelet engraved on the inside with yours D, yet beneath the perfection, a thread of unease tugged. The original 3-month arrangement ended February 28th. We never revisited the contract, never discussed what came after. I told myself it was because we didn't need to. His actions screamed commitment louder than words. But doubt whispered late at night, What if this was still a beautiful extension of the deal? February brought a rare Seattle snowstorm, heavy, relentless flakes that blanketed the city and shut down schools and roads. We were snowed in for 3 days, the world outside muffled and white. Mia delighted in it, begging for endless snowball fights and hot cocoa. Damian worked from his home office, joining us for sledding on the backyard hill he'd had landscaped just for her. On the second night, after Mia was asleep, the power flickered and died. The house switched seamlessly to generator backup, but the sudden darkness felt intimate. Damian built a fire in the master bedroom hearth, an oversized stone fireplace I loved, and laid out blankets and pillows on the thick rug. We made love slowly in the firelight, shadows dancing across our skin. He took his time, kissing every inch of me, murmuring how much he needed me, how I'd changed his life. When he finally slid inside, it was deep and unhurried, our bodies moving in perfect sync. I came twice before he let go, holding me tight as he spilled inside me with a broken groan. Afterward, wrapped in his arms, I traced the lines of his chest. Damian, the arrangement ends in 2 weeks. He stiffened slightly. I know. What happens then? He was quiet so long I thought he'd fallen asleep. Then, I've been trying to find the right way to ask you to stay. Permanently, my heart soared and plummeted at once. Ask me what, exactly? He shifted, propping himself on an elbow to look down at me, firelight gilding his features. Marry me, Sophia. Not because of any deal. Because I can't imagine a single day without you and Mia in this house in my life. I love you fiercely, completely. You're my home. Tears filled my eyes. You mean it? This is an obligation, or he silenced me with a tender kiss. I've never meant anything more. I had a ring designed weeks ago, but I was waiting for the right moment. The storm feels fitting, everything else stripped away. Just us. He reached under a pillow, producing a small velvet box. Inside was a stunning emerald-cut diamond flanked by smaller stones, set in platinum, elegant, timeless. It reminded me of your eyes that first night in the red dress. I stared, speechless, tears spilling. Say yes, he whispered, voice rough with emotion. Yes, I breathed. God, yes. He slid the ring onto my finger. It fit perfectly, then kissed me until we were breathless again. Celebration turned carnal quickly. He laid me back, spreading my thighs wide, entering me with one deep thrust that had me crying out. We moved together urgently, the ring sparkling in the firelight as my hand clutched his shoulder. Later, as snow tapped the windows, he held me close. There's something else, he said quietly. I want to adopt Mia, if you'll let me. Be her father in every way that matters. Sobs broke free, happy, overwhelmed. She already calls you daddy sometimes when she thinks I'm not listening. He laughed softly, eyes shining. I noticed. Best sound in the world. The storm raged outside, but inside we planned quietly, joyfully. A spring wedding, small and intimate. Mia as flower girl, Victoria already scheming as maid of honor. Morning brought clear skies and a world transformed in white. Damian carried Mia downstairs on his shoulders while I followed, ring hidden under my sleeve until the right moment. We built a snow family in the yard, 3 figures holding hands. At lunch, with Mia chattering about her snow princess, I slid my hand across the table to Damian. He noticed immediately, eyes widening at the ring now openly displayed. Mia, baby, I said softly. Damian asked me to marry him last night, and I said yes. Her little face lit up. Really? So he'll be my daddy forever? Damian knelt beside her chair, voice thick. If you want me to be, princess, I'd love nothing more. She launched herself into his arms, knocking him backward into the snow-dusted patio. Laughter echoed as I joined the pile, all three of us tangled and happy. That evening, with the storm cleared and stars sharp overhead, Damian led me to the terrace. He'd arranged for staff to watch Mia while we had one more private celebration. A bottle of champagne chilled beside a plush outdoor heater, blankets waiting. We toasted to us to forever. Then he pulled me into his lap, dress rucked up as I straddled him. We made love under the stars, slow and deep, his hands gripping my hips as I rode him to completion. When I came, head thrown back, his name on my lips, he followed, holding me like he'd never let go. Later, wrapped in blankets, watching our breath cloud the air, he whispered, "No more struggles, Sophia. Only us." I believed him. The single mom who'd feared eviction was gone. In her place was a woman loved beyond measure, engaged to a man who saw her worth from the very first knock. And if his offers still left me breathless, it was the best kind, the kind that came from a heart finally, fully home. A year flies when your life flips from survival to thriving. Spring turned to summer, then autumn again, and suddenly it was December 23rd, once more the anniversary of that fateful knock. Mia was now 6.5, taller, chattier, and utterly convinced that Damian had always been her daddy. The adoption papers had been finalized in April, a quiet courthouse ceremony followed by ice cream sundaes and Mia officially signing her new full name with careful, wobbly letters, Mia Reyes Voss. We married in May on a sun-drenched afternoon overlooking the lake. Small, intimate, just 40 guests on the manicured lawn of our home. I walked down an aisle of rose petals scattered by Mia, wearing a simple lace gown that hugged my post-baby curves because yes, there was news. Damian waited at the altar in a tailored navy suit, eyes shining suspiciously as Victoria read a poem about unexpected love. When the officiant pronounced us husband and wife, he kissed me like we were alone in the world, dipping me dramatically while Mia whooped and clapped. The honeymoon was 2 weeks in Tuscany vineyards, ancient hill towns, and nights in a restored villa where we barely left the bedroom. Damian was relentless, waking me with his mouth on me, taking me against sun-warmed stone walls in the infinity pool under stars. We conceived there, though we didn't know it yet. Summer brought the grand opening of my bakery Sweet Reyes in Madison Park, just minutes from home. Damian had quietly bought the corner storefront I'd admired for years, renovating it to my exact specifications. Exposed brick, marble counters, a glass case for pastries that gleamed under soft lighting. The launch party was packed. Mia handed out mini cupcakes while Damian worked the room, proudly introducing my wife, the most talented baker in Seattle. Reviews poured in 5 stars, features in local magazines, lines out the door on weekends. By fall, the pregnancy test showed 2 pink lines. We told Mia first, over her favorite pancakes. "You're going to be a big sister," Damian said, voice thick. She squealed so loud the windows rattled, then spent weeks kissing my still flat belly and suggesting names like Elsa and Spider-Man. Now, on this December 23rd, snow fell softly again, blanketing the city in hush. The house glowed with Christmas lights, Mia's doing, mostly. She directed Damian like a tiny foreman while he hung them, standing on a ladder in the cold until every eve sparkled. Inside, the kitchen smelled of cinnamon and chocolate. I was 8 months pregnant, belly round under a soft red sweater, directing Damian as he attempted and mostly succeeded to roll out dough for gingerbread cookies. Flour dusted his dark hair, and Mia giggled every time he accidentally flicked some at her. "Mommy, Daddy's making a mess," she accused. Hands on hips, Damian grinned, pulling me against his side, hands splaying possessively over my bump. "Daddy's allowed one mess a year," he teased, kissing my temple. Later, after cookies were decorated and Mia was tucked in with promises of Santa arrival, Damian led me to the master suite. The fireplace crackled, candles flickered, and a new addition graced the room, a plush chaise longue positioned perfectly for certain activities. He undressed me slowly, reverently, kissing every new curve the pregnancy had gifted. My breasts were fuller, sensitive. He lavished them with attention until I was trembling. When he laid me back on the chaise, he knelt between my thighs, careful of the belly, and brought me to a slow, shattering climax with his mouth alone. Then he stood, stripping quickly, cock hard and ready. He helped me straddle him carefully as he sat, guiding me down onto him inch by inch. The angle was perfect, deep but gentle. I rode him slowly, hands braced on his shoulders, watching his face as pleasure built. His hands cupped my breasts, thumbs teasing nipples, then slid to grip my hips, helping me move. "You're so beautiful like this," he whispered, voice rough. "Carrying our child, mine." The words sent me over, clenching around him as release washed through me in long, luxurious waves. He followed moments later, thrusting up gently, spilling inside me with a low groan. We stayed joined, breathing together, his hands stroking my back, my belly, our unborn son or daughter nestled between us. "Still breathless?" he murmured against my neck. I laughed softly. Every single day, he carried me to bed, still insisting he could, even at 8 months, and tucked me against his chest. Outside, snow continued to fall, silent and perfect. A year ago, I'd been a struggling single mom opening the door to a stranger, terrified of losing everything. Now, I was married to that stranger who wasn't a stranger at all, but the love of my life, mother to an incredible little girl. And soon another baby, owner of a thriving business, safe and cherished beyond measure. Damian's hand settled over my belly, feeling a gentle kick. "He knows Daddy's voice already," he said wonderingly. "Or she," I teased. "Either way," he replied, kissing me softly. "They're going to grow up knowing exactly how loved they are, just like their mama." I closed my eyes, listening to his heartbeat, Mia's soft snores down the hall through the monitor, the quiet hush of snow outside. From a mysterious knock that changed everything, to a lifetime of moments that still, every day, left me utterly breathless. And I wouldn't have it any other way.